How's it going, Skong Gang? My name is Primacon, and in this holy month of April, Hollow Knight Silksong is a teat that won't stop giving. No matter how much you suckle on it, the news just keep coming. And I want you to demolish that subscribe button because today's news is probably the biggest news we got since the April 2nd Direct. I am not exaggerating, by the way. Both about the scope of this news and of you demolishing that subscribe button. Help me get to 30k, thank you very much. I woke up today so certain that nothing special is gonna happen, and lo and behold, I was wrong because I woke up with DMs of news. And I've been talking about this with my mod Meowsome, who brought it to my attention. Thank you, Meowsome, really appreciate it. And with daily Silksong news, of course. And it's absolutely crazy. Now let me ask you a very important question that's gonna be on your pop quiz. How many of you know what ACMI is? If you have watched Mossbag in the past, you should know this. It's the Australian Centre for Moving Images, which is basically a museum for all the culture and entertainment. It's a museum that Team Cherry has been a part of before. You remember this Mossbag video? Hollow Knight is officially art, where he goes over how Hollow Knight's development sketches and Ari Gibson's fucking personal diary are all up in the museum now. Well, guess what, motherfuckers? ACMI is back, and they released a trailer on April 2nd, which flew under the radar because we were all so hyped for the direct. But right here, Hollow Knight Silksong is gonna be a part of it. I'm gonna leave this video in the description so you can go watch this full trailer yourself. But Daily Silksong news sum it up basically pretty well. That ACMI is having another exhibition in September 18th to be exact, and Silksong is mentioned as one of the games that will be there. Bastards even did a little tongue-in-cheek in their article saying that game worlds transport you inside of the levels of 30 unforgettable video games, from global blockbusters like WoW to pioneer of the life simulation like The Sims. Man, remember The Sims? I used to play that shit all the time. And Neopets. What the fuck is Neopets? And a highly anticipated Australian title for 2025. Long story short, there's going to be an exhibition there on September 18th where you can go and play Silksong. And no, this is not gonna be the same demo from 2019. ACMI is not a game expo or a showcase like Summer Game Fest. They don't do trailers. It's a museum. Team Cherry submitted Hollow Knight to that museum with all this development footage and, you know, older builds and Ari's sketchbook. And it's gonna be same for Silksong, where it's gonna be like one-of-a-kind experience, with probably a lot of behind-the-scenes footage of Silksong present there as well. More importantly than that, though, this basically confirms that Silksong will be out before September 18th. Like I said, all the games showcased in this museum and the track record of the museum and the exhibition, they don't do unfinished games or demos or whatever. They talk about culturally important media. Fucking once-in-a-lifetime historical art pieces like Hollow Knight. And Silksong will be there in its full fucking glory. Now, yesterday, Let confirmed that Silksong is coming to Switch 1 and 2, which basically means that if you really want to push your hope and cope super to the limit, it could launch before the Switch 2 as well. But now the 2025 window has shrunken down depending on who you ask. If you ask a full-on full-time coper, then we can get Silksong from any time between April and September. And if you ask a more rational thinker, we'll probably get Silksong between June and September. Probably earlier than September because Team Cherry will need time to set up all of their expo and exhibition in September. I doubt the game will be coming out that late anyway. June was the most highly speculated date in the Silksong community for a while for a bunch of reasons. A, Switch 2 launches in June. B, we had leaks that Team Cherry gave an internal deadline to Xbox for June. C, Let's said in the past that, you know, he doesn't like releasing indie games near at the end of the year. That combined with Team Cherry already planned to release Silksong in first half of 2023 made me believe that they'll also do the same for 2025, plan to release in first half of the 2025 year. All of that combined now with this exhibition information, we can be pretty certain that the game will be out before September. Man, you know, in the delay announcement with Let's said expect more details closer to release, bro was not capping. It's been nothing but Silksong news in the month of April. I think this is the first time something as substantial as this has slipped by the Silksong community for 5 days straight, because this was just found out today on the subreddit. That's how strong the hype for Silksong was, because of there was so much other news to focus on. In 2024, this shit would have been blown up within like 0.2 seconds after being announced. What a crazy timeline to be a part of. I did ask Daily Silksong News on what he thinks of my wacky theory. This is what the man had to say.
Yes.
So you heard it here first, folks. Fucking exciting times. I want to hear from you in the comments. What month now do you think we'll see Silksong? That it has narrowed down significantly. April, May, June, July, August. Literally 5 months at max. Out of these 5 months, my bet is still on June, but we could definitely see it earlier or later than that. Anyway, thank you for listening to me yap. That's all for today. Primacon signing out.